So we'll start by allowing our eyes to close and then slowing down the breath just to engage the parasympathetic. The parasympathetic part of the nervous system is the rest and digest part, as opposed to the fight or flight part that's usually engaged in conscious activity. So we'll dip into the parasympathetic just to kind of mellow ourselves out and to be receptive. It's the divine feminine part of the nervous system, so it'll help you be more receptive to all the answers that are coming in for you. And so we'll do that by taking a deep inhale for 4 counts, holding it for 2, and then exhaling for 4. And we'll do that a few times. So all together, inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it for 2, 1. And exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Doing again, inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it for 2, 1. And exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it for 2, 1, and exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. We're going to start with the most primal layer of the aura, the one that's closest to your skin. And that's the first layer of the aura. It tends to be red, matching that first chakra. And so just scanning your space for the color red, for the red layer of your aura. For you, it might be hovering at about 2 to 3 inches above your skin, outside of your skin. You may notice it hovering 4 to 5 inches outside your skin, or it might be just millimeters above your skin, hugging you tight. Let's start by simply scanning for it, looking for it with your mind's eye, with your eyes closed. And then just to experiment, before we go into the details of the spots and the holes, just to play around with it, how about imagine extending this red layer all the way out, expanding it so that it's 1 foot, 2 feet, maybe even 3 feet outside your skin, and getting comfortable with that. And then imagine bringing it all the way back in, and all the way out again, and then all the way back in, just to offer you a relationship with this layer. This is the most primal layer. And energy information stored here tends to deal with survival, with health, with feelings of security in life, which sometimes translates into financial security. It can store information relating to anxiety or depression, or how just safe you feel to be alive and to be in this world. And before we even go into the dark spots or the holes, how about start scanning this red layer? First, bring it to a place that feels comfortable for you. Whether it's hugging you tight, or if you want to experiment with it about 1 foot off your skin, wherever it might be, a place that feels comfortable for you. And simply trusting whatever comes through. You're all doing great. Let's look for a picture in this layer of the aura. It can look like a Polaroid. It can simply look like a black and white photo. For you, it might be a sketch drawing. Look for an image in this layer, and then get curious about this image. We tend to absorb messages accept them more easily in the form of images. For some, that's a little bit tricky and words resonate more. So if you're looking for an image and you get a sentence, that's totally cool. Whatever you're receiving, just get curious. What is this image all about? What does this image say about this layer of the aura, about your relationship to safety, to survival, security? What message resides within this image? So you might be seeing a picture of yourself at like 5 years old sucking on a lollipop, and you're like, oh, I'm pretty happy-go-lucky, I guess I feel safe in the world. Or you might be seeing a picture of yourself in bed, or it might not even be yourself. Just being super curious. What is this image about? What does it say about me? This image acts as a filter. It's how you're taking in the world. So if it's that little girl with a lollipop, maybe you're taking in the world from a sense of trust and ease, and like, I do take candy from strangers because everyone's trustworthy. And maybe people feel that from you, and so they feel like you're trustworthy. And it's also that youthful spirit that you're projecting out into the world, and people feel safe around you. It acts as both a filter in which you're taking in the world, and also a filter in which you're radiating out your messaging through. So just simply being curious about it, not trying to judge it too much or make too much sense of it. It's kind of, what does this say? And how has this navigated the way you've taken in the world? Does this resonate with you? Does it make sense? Are you surprised by it? How does it make sense of the way the world has been taking you in? Simply learning a little bit more about yourself, cultivating that self-awareness. These images have accumulated here unconsciously. They're here to help you better understand yourself so that you can offer whatever you like to this layer of the aura consciously. So if this image does resonate, awesome. If it's projecting trust and safety and it feels good, that's wonderful. If it's making you feel like you're a little too gullible and you want to tweak it, you can. If it makes you feel like you're a little bit too guarded, defensive, and you want to tweak it, you can. You have all the power in this right here and now. So does everybody have an image? If you do not, please raise your hand. Wonderful, good job. So then we're going to all move along to creating an image, and it'll get easier and easier with the different layers. And some layers are our strength, and so a little bit easier to see and to navigate through, and some layers not so much, and so you're not going to see much. And that's totally cool, and the more you do this, the more you'll be able to see in every layer. So for those of you that are seeing something, if you like that something that you're seeing, keep it there. It's a great filter for you. And if you don't like what you're seeing, you can go ahead and like almost imagine erasing it, letting it go completely. And for all of us, whether you're seeing something or not, if you can create now a whole new image for this first layer of your aura. So if you're wanting to project trust out into the world, or if you're wanting to feel more safe in the world, you can either create an image that suggests that, or you can simply write, I trust across this layer, or I feel safe across this layer, or I am trustworthy. People recognize me as being trustworthy across this layer. Whatever resonates with you. If you like, you can create a beautiful scene within this aura and trust that it'll just stay there until you reprogram it. You can write it out in the form of words, written out in present tense. Or if you'd like symbols, you can use symbols in this layer of the aura. Like if you want to put up, a black tourmaline stone that helps you feel protected and safe, or maybe you want to put, a different crystal of your choice, or whatever it might be. You're also free to use symbols. So reprogramming this red layer of your aura right here and now, knowing that you have all the power in this, creating whatever image you wish to be in here. I'm going to come around and spray as we go along with every layer. This is a little cleansing spray, so I'll try hard not to get you, but to get around you. So creating the image of your choice, the message of your choice in this layer of the aura. Trusting that it'll stay here until you reprogram it. Otherwise, just letting it stay static and seeing how you respond to life with this image. It'll be experiential after this workshop and how life responds to you. And then we'll move along to dark spots. Now scanning this layer of your aura for any sort of dark spots that might be there. If you're seeing multiple, look for the most prominent one so that you may explore it. If you're only seeing one, perfect, it will keep you focused. And if you're not seeing any, that's totally cool. You can still ask all the questions that I'm about to lead you through and still gain a better understanding of yourself and use this time to heal yourself. So if you're not seeing a dark spot, raise your hand. Great. Okay. Wonderful. So still tune into the questions. And again, this will just get easier and easier with all of the layers and the more we go down it. This is totally new to everyone. And your subconscious mind is always listening, so you're always doing the work, whether you realize it or not. So if you're seeing a dark spot, or even if you're not seeing a dark spot, you'll pretend like you are, or you'll actualize one and create it and give yourself one to work with. And all you're going to do with this dark spot, so this is an area of stagnant energy that's rooted in the past. And so you're going to ask the dark spot, how long have you been here? When did I get you? And why am I carrying you around with me? What are you doing for me? Usually they stick around because, again, it's like that scar tissue. It's added defense, almost like added immunity, an extra barrier between you and the world. And so there is sometimes a payoff of I'm here to protect you, or I'm here to help you get your power back. Using that same example I led the class with, like if you were feeling rejected, or if it came from a feeling of rejection, maybe the dark spot keeps the world away so that you never feel rejection again, or maybe it makes it so that you're the one that rejects others, and that's how it helps you have your power. Like, nobody can reject me if I'm this isolated. I'm saying no to them before they're saying no to me. Just be really curious. Who are you? When did you get here? Why haven't you left yet? Why am I carrying you around? What are you doing for me? Understanding that this was once upon a time a coping mechanism, and it did serve you once upon a time. So being proud of yourself for having these life skills. But it's stagnant energy, it's rooted in the past, and with it comes a lot of associations that might not be of service to you right here and now. So you can also ask this dark spot, how are you hurting me? It is a barrier between you and the world. So what are you withholding from me? What are you keeping away from me? doing great. Wonderful. And sometimes the more we explore these dark spots and ask them all these questions, they just start to turn from like black to brown and just fade away and dissipate on their own once you've really integrated the lesson. If that's not already happening, you can just imagine this dark spot simply melting and dripping down and being absorbed by the earth. It's just going to go through the floorboards, all the way down through this building, down into the earth. The earth's going to absorb that energy and use it like fertilizer and redistribute it in a more beneficial way for us all. Whether you got messages from the dark spot or not, you're absolutely healing yourself by letting it go right here and now. And then let's look for a hole. So simply looking for a hole. And some of you might not have holes. And some of you might not have dark spots, and trust that as well. Sometimes the people who have more dark spots have less holes. The people who have more holes have less dark spots. We all tend to have a little bit of a mixture. So if you're seeing a hole, for this layer of the aura, simply imagine mending it back together. We'll explore the holes a little bit further in other layers. So if you are seeing a hole, you're just going to imagine the walls of your aura coming back together, healing themselves. And this is going to prevent you from bouncing out of your aura the next time trauma comes up, the next time you hit any just uncomfortable energy. This is you healing you. It's going to make it easier to stay contained within your aura, within your body. And the more you do stay contained within your body, the more safe your body will feel, the more safe the world will feel, the more safety you're projecting out into the world, and so on and so forth. You're doing great. And then maybe you got some messages, some answers from the dark spot, from the hole, from the image. Take this moment right now to set this layer of the aura to whatever you wish. So if the dark spot came with people are scary, or life is scary, or life is full of pain, or whatever it might be, you can now take that and twist it, flip it, and turn it into an affirmation that better serves you. Like, it's safe to be me. Life only gets better with time. I'm bigger than my problems. I create my own reality. All great affirmations for this layer. And then just zooming back out and scanning this layer, smoothing it out if there's any ripples. Setting it to a dimension that works best for you, whether it's just a few inches off your skin, or if for today you want it to be a few feet off your skin, wherever it's best for you. And as we go along, I'm going to move a little bit faster with each layer as you start getting into the flow of it. And I'm doing that also because sometimes we get caught up in analysis paralysis and in judgment. And so the faster we go, the less it'll offer you that space to get your cognitive mind involved. This is totally experiential. It's not analytical. So moving along, we have the second layer of your aura. This is going to hover just above that first layer. This layer tends to be orange, so just looking for that orange bubble that surrounds you. How far in front of you is it, behind you, above you? And is it even? Is it smooth? Sometimes they'll almost be like dense, and so it's like near your heart space, it might be squeezed all the way in, and then out behind you, it might be extended out by a few feet. Everyone's totally different, and we all have different responses to life. So trusting whatever it is that you're seeing and just going with it, even if you're not seeing very much, setting it to whatever you want to see right here and now. You can play around by extending this orange layer all the way out, bringing it all the way in. If you're seeing ripples, smoothing it out. And with this layer, let's start with the holes. Look for any holes that might be in this layer. This layer tends to store emotional information, feelings of security within, inner peace. It tends to deal with our relationships with other people, our romantic relationships, our friendships, our creativity, and our sexuality. And also some body image information might lie in here. So are there any holes in here? Holes suggest you didn't feel safe, and so you just bounced out of your aura. And if it's a hole in the second layer, maybe you weren't feeling safe in sexuality, maybe you weren't feeling safe in the way you look, the way you feel, the way this relationship went, the way that friendship went. So looking for a hole. And let's do the same thing with this hole as we did with the dark spots in that first layer. Who are you? When did you get here? What was the payoff? Why haven't I sealed you up yet? So some of the holes will self-seal, and some of the dark spots will self-resolve after a few other life experiences that maybe are a contrast to the original one that put them there. But if this one's here, maybe other life experiences reinforce the same messaging and help the hole grow bigger and bigger. So simply asking, when did you get here? Why haven't I sealed you up? In some way, shape, or form, this hole might be helping you feel more safe in life. Kind of like it's your way of checking out. So anytime somebody says something I disagree with, now I don't dispute it anymore, I don't speak up, I just check out and just let them think that I agree with them, or just stop participating. And then once we're back in agreement, I check back in. Something like that. And you can also ask this hole, how are you hurting me? And it might just be that maybe you're going along with things that you don't agree with, or you present as though you're going along with things that you don't agree with, and then people get confused and are like, oh, I thought this was also your belief. I thought we were in this together. Or maybe you only feel safe in moments of agreement and feel totally unsafe in moments of disagreement. Or maybe you had a partner that thought you were too emotional too much, and now instead of expressing the too much, you just bounce out and you're a little bit more apathetic or numb. Just exploring. And then whatever the message is, after better understanding yourself and whether or not you got a message, you have all the power in healing yourself right here and now. So you're just going to imagine this hole mending right here and now. It closes in, it contains you, it helps you feel more safe in this world. You're doing great. It's totally safe to be you, safe to have all your feelings, safe to express all your feelings, safe to be as creative as you'd like to be, as sexual as you'd like to be. And then with this one, any dark spots that you're seeing, simply imagine them melting, fading away. They're just gonna like drip down through the floorboards and into the center of the earth, acting like fertilizer. The earth will neutralize that energy and redistribute it, so everyone's winning. And then with this aura, this layer of your aura, go ahead and simply set it to whatever messaging you want to set it to. So this is your opportunity to consciously align this layer with whatever you want to align it to. So maybe it's I feel safe to be sexual, or I protect my sexuality, or I love being creative, I love being seen as being creative, people receive me as a creative being. Maybe you're trying to call in more friends, this would be the layer of the aura to do that, or a romantic partner. I make friends with ease. I love everyone, everyone loves me. I'm open to love, I call love in, whatever it might be. You can set that now, writing it all across your aura, or maybe you want to set up a picture, a little symbol that represents this intention, and simply trusting that your aura is going to hold on to this, knowing that you have complete power and control in this. You're doing great. Wonderful. And moving along, so you're going to smooth out this layer. If you're seeing any holes, you're just filling them in. Any dark spots are melting away. Any ripples you're smoothing out. And you're going to bring your awareness now out to the third layer of your aura, the yellow layer. And again, this tends to hover right outside that orange layer. So we're getting further and further outside our skin. So now you're about like 8 inches to 1 foot outside your skin. If you'd like, you can expand, contract, to get a better understanding of it, to get a better feel for it. For some of you, this might be your strength, and it might be like, oh, finally a layer that I get and that I actually want to explore. For others of you, it might be really uncomfortable, and you're like, oh, what is this yellow layer? And that's great feedback too. Without judgment, just simply accepting and being curious about whatever it is that you're seeing. Let's scan for a dark spot here. This layer of the aura tends to deal with goal setting, willpower, motivation, drive, how people see you in the world. Are you ambitious? Maybe you don't feel ambitious, but you see this ambitious image in this layer, and you're like, oh, that's why people respond to me like this. So looking for that dark spot, and then just getting curious about that dark spot. This is some stagnant energy. It's been here for a while. So asking that dark spot, who are you? When did you get here? And as you're asking, it might open up into an image. It might like show you a beautiful scene. Like, remember that one time where you self-advocated and you thought you were being awesome and a strong leader and everybody called you a bully? I remember that one time where you won third place in that race, and you were feeling really good and strong, and then your parents were disappointed you didn't win first, and kind of warped your understanding of goal setting and accomplishments and how strong you really are. Pride pictures tend to be stored in this layer. Our sense of self, sense of purpose. Also, body image stuff might be stored here. Career stuff, health stuff. So just getting curious about this dark spot, like we do. Who are you? When did you get here? What was the payoff? Why have I held on to you? So it might be, if I never try, I'll never get disappointed, and it helps me feel safe in the world. Or it might be, I'm going to show them all, and I'm going to try extra hard and be really hard on myself forever so that I keep accomplishing more and more. And you can ask this dark spot, how are you hurting me? It's a barrier between you and the world. What am I withholding from myself by keeping you here? What experiences am I withholding from myself? What am I withholding from the world? Maybe you're withholding your grace and flow from the world, your softness, your sense of humor. Maybe you're withholding intimacy, maybe in the workspace. Trusting whatever comes up, and whether you're seeing something or not, receiving something or not, you have all the power in healing yourself. So simply imagining now this dark spot melting, fading away completely, looking around this yellow layer, smoothing it all out, knowing that you so deserve to be successful. You so deserve to feel good about your career space, your ambition, your goals. Or if you like to take it easy, you deserve to feel good about that. Allowing yourself permission to be unapologetically yourself. And whatever affirmation or image you'd like to set up in this layer, you can do so now. You can write it out. It could be a neon sign. It could look like an image, or it could be a symbol that you're simply setting up, decorating this yellow layer of your aura with. I'm going to go a little bit faster still. So trusting that you're setting that up in this yellow layer, go ahead and look out to that green layer of your aura. This is the compassion layer. We're now about a foot off the skin, maybe a little bit more, but a few inches. Anywhere between like 9 and 16 inches usually. The ears might be radiating differently, resonating differently, and that's totally cool. Taking a moment to smooth out this layer. And let's look for a picture here. So what image is popping out in this benevolence layer, this compassion layer, this love layer, this unity layer? This is the layer that suggests we're all in this together. This is usually the electromagnetic field of your heart. And so what image is here? Is it an image that suggests you're a lover? Is it an image that suggests that you feel really alone in this world? Love is for everyone but me. Or others love, the people that I love don't love me back. Unrequited love, the ones that love me I don't love back. Love is complicated. Maybe it's I've never seen true love work. Whatever it might be, just trusting it. Is there anyone that's not seeing a picture? All good. So how about imagining this layer at your favorite color of green, a green that vibrates with you and that you really enjoy seeing. And then looking for the picture all over again so that it resonates a little bit more with you. If you're not getting a picture, are you getting words? Are you getting a message? If you're not getting a message at all, raise your hand. All good. So either way, you can always set an intention and trust that you're doing the work. So as I guide you in exploring the image, for those of you that don't have an image or a message, just create one and set your intention for this layer. So what is this image all about? Do you like this image or this message, whatever you might be hearing, reading, seeing, feeling? Is this working for you? Is it helping you out in life? Is it rose-colored glasses? Is it helping you stay optimistic and in the game? Maybe it's helping you a little bit and you want to tweak some other parts. Maybe you're creating it as you go and you have all the power in tweaking it and creating it as you wish. What does this image say about you? What is it? How are people receiving you as your words come filtered out through this image? How are you receiving the world as the world comes in through this image? Simply trusting whatever it might be. And they can be complicated. So it could be, I'm a lover, and maybe it's making unsafe experiences come in, or people come in. And so maybe you don't want it to say that anymore, or to say just that anymore. You can tweak it however you wish. So everyone is now creating an image that they desire to be in here. If the visualization part is tough, create a sentence, or messaging that you desire to be in here. Setting the color green to your unique green, your preferred green, whether it's neon green or like a deep forest green. It can be whatever you wish. So that this is your filter. This is how your love comes through. And this is how you receive all the love of the world. It works best for you. It validates you. It reinforces you. And helps you be your most authentic self, and helps your authenticity be well received by all the beautiful people in your life. You're all doing great. We're almost there. Smoothing out this green layer. Let's just take a moment to scan all the way out. So just feeling the outer layer of this aura bubble. It might look like violet, it might look like white. How far out is your aura right here and now? Is it extending 4 feet out, 8 feet out? Do you feel like go ahead and extend it so that it takes up this entire room, and feel how that feels? For some of you, this is really comfortable and your natural setting. For some of you, it might be really uncomfortable. How about if you bring your entire aura in, all 7 layers, so that it's hugging your skin? How does that feel? For some of you, this is going to feel really comfortable, warm, cozy, safe, secure. For others of you, it'll feel like anxiety, too much, overwhelm. Just trusting whatever it might be. And then adjusting accordingly, according to whatever you wish, however it feels the most comfortable. And let's hop over to the 7th layer of our aura. So if any layer has holes in it, it's usually this layer. So definitely scan for a hole in the 7th layer of your aura. This is the self-actualization layer, the self-realization layer. This is where all your values hang out. So if you value family first, or equality, social justice, maybe you value career success, financial well-being, whatever it might be. This is the layer that that messaging would hang out in. And anything that hits up against that messaging, compromises that, might create that hole. So any holes that you're seeing, you're just closing them all in. And then go ahead and set up your values in this layer of the aura, keeping you contained with them, helping you live in alignment with those unique, specific values to you, and helping the world receive you as that. So if it is family first, then your employer, your boss, your friends are going to respect that. And when you say, oh, it's family time, they're not going to push up against it. They're going to honor those boundaries. And you can imagine writing out all your values in this layer. Just trusting that this is the filter in which you're going to project yourself through and that the world is going to take you in through. And then coming in a little bit, let's look for that indigo layer. This is that intuition layer. It's going to be about 2 feet outside of you. This is the layer that deals with your intelligence, your intuition, your own unique perspective. So there might be, let's look for a dark spot here. And the dark spot might sit just, like you can ask the dark spot like we've been doing, who are you? When did you get here? Why am I carrying you around with me? How did you once serve me? And how are you now hurting me? So you may be withholding your own unique perspective from the world because somebody once called you a weirdo or was like, I can't relate. Where is this coming from? It maybe made you feel isolated, so you've been carrying it around so that you feel a greater sense of belonging and so that you can be on the same page as others. But now it's hurting you because you're denying your own intelligence and you're withholding your unique perspective to the world. So you don't really get to feel validated. Whether you're receiving messaging around this dark spot or not, just have it melt away, heal yourself now. Watch as this dark spot simply melts, fades down into the center of the earth, never to be seen or experienced again, setting the vibration of this violet to the exact color that you wish. You can have bright light shining through it, and writing whatever messaging you wish across this layer. It could be, I own my unique perspective, I love being a weirdo, people love me as a weirdo, whatever it might be. Writing that message across this layer, writing multiple messages if you wish across this layer, or setting up all the pictures, the symbols, so that you're calibrating to this. This is the filter in which you're taking in the world and in which the world experiences you. Then coming into the final layer, the 5th layer, it's going to be the blue layer. And it's going to hang out also around like the 2-foot mark, between 1 and 2 feet usually. You're all doing great. Let's smooth out this blue layer. This is the self-expression layer. It's that sense of belonging in the world. It's feeling heard, seen, understood. This tends to be a big deal, and especially for women. We oftentimes feel silenced. And so writing out across this blue layer, whatever you wish, setting it to your unique intention. I feel seen, I feel heard, my voice is powerful, I own my voice. I belong. Just trusting it to stay there. Mending any holes that might be there, closing it all up, letting all the dark spots fade and disappear into the center of the earth. And just a final scan of your aura. What color is the most dominant one to you? What does that say about you? Where is it hanging out? Is it about 3 feet outside of you, 4 feet, 5 feet? Is it holding you, hugging you in close at a few inches? And what might that say about you? You're just looking at how sparkly it is, how much you've healed it, how much you've learned from yourself. And letting it be just so. We'll take a few deep breaths with the 4, 3, 2, 1 inhale, holding it, and then exhaling for 4 counts. So inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1, sealing it all in for 2, 1, and exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Allowing your fingers and toes to wiggle and your eyes to gently flutter open.